Hello student and welcome to our today's class. In our today's class, we are going to talk about fractions. Having looked at the integers, it is also important we talk about the fractions. So a fraction, it is a number that is written in the form of a over b, where the value of a here is referred as the numerator, and the value of b is referred as the denominator. So any number that is written in this form a over b, it is actually known as a fraction. So it can be 2 over 3, it can be 4 over 9, it can be 11 over 8. Any such number that is written in this form, including a number that is written maybe is 2 and 3 over 5. All these are known as fractions. So I want us then to look at the types of fractions, the types of fractions that we have. We have three major types of fractions. Number one, or A, is what we call the proper fractions. A proper fraction, it is a fraction where the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Any fraction whose numerator is smaller than the denominator is known as a proper fraction, e.g. 2 over 3, 1 over 4, 6 over 7. Any number where the upper number, which is the numerator, is smaller than the denominator, it is actually known as a proper fraction. Another type or category of fraction is what we call the improper. The improper fraction. The improper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is bigger than the denominator. The numerator or the value of a is bigger than the value of the denominator. Like for example, you can have 11 over 6, 9 over 4, 15 over 4, you can have 23 over 6. Any of this number where the numerator is bigger than its denominator, such kind of a fraction is known as an improper fraction. Then C, we have another category we call a mixed fraction. A mixed fraction. This is a fraction that consists of a whole number and a proper fraction. It consists of a whole number and a proper fraction. Like you can have 2 and 1 over 6, 7 and 2 over 3, 10 and 4 over 7. Where we have a whole number, which is an integer, and a proper fraction, it is known as a mixed fraction. These mixed fractions can be converted into improper fraction when you are operating the fractions. Like for example, if you have 3 and 4 over 5, you can be asked to convert this one into improper. You can be told to convert this one into improper fraction. How are you going to do? It is actually done like this. You multiply the whole number times the denominator, the whole number. So in this case, it's going to be 3 times 5, then we add the numerator so that we can be able to get the new numerator. For us to get the new numerator, will be equal to the whole number times the denominator, which is actually 3 times 5, and whatever we get here, we add the numerator that we have here 4. So it's actually going to be equal to 15 plus 4, which is equals to 19. So this is our new numerator. 19 is our new numerator. and then the denominator remains to be 5. Then the old denominator remains to be the denominator for the improper fraction. So it's actually going to be 19 over 5. That is how we do it. So we can have another example on the same here, whereby you have 3 and 4 over 6. So first of all, get the new numerator. The new numerator will be equal to 3 times 6, then we add 4. So in this case, it is going to be 18 plus 4, which is actually going to be 22. Then the old denominator, which was 6, will remain to be the denominator for that particular improper fraction. So basically, that is how we convert a mixed fraction into an improper fraction, which is actually going to be very much applicable when we are operating the fractions, because when we are operating fractions, it becomes hard to operate the fractions when they are in a mixed form. Having noted that, then you can be told to convert the mixed number. Like for example, we have 22 over 6. Actually, you can have an improper fraction, and then now you are told to convert it into mixed fraction. You are told you convert this into mixed. How are you going to do it? This one you divide the normal way, where we have 22 divided by 6. 6 goes to 22 how many times? It's going to go 3 times because of 18, so that we can have a remainder of what? 4. So that we can have a remainder of 4. So how then are you going to write this? The number that we have here, which is actually the divider, it's going to be the whole number. And then the remainder here will be our new numerator. And then this 6, which was the denominator, will remain to be the denominator. So you have 3 and 4 over 6. So you can have another one like maybe 10 and 4 over 5. If you convert this one into improper, it's going to be 10 plus 5 times 5, plus 4, so that we can have 50 plus 4, which is actually 54 over 5. This is now the improper fraction. If you are told now to convert this one into mixed number, it's going to be equal to, you divide 54 by 5. You will realize that we are going to have 10 going or being multiplied by 5 to have 50, so that now the remainder can be 4. So this number here, which is actually at the top, becomes the whole number. The remainder here becomes the new numerator, and then the divider here, which becomes now the denominator for the mixed number. So we can go that way. You can be told to convert a mixed number into improper fraction, and it's going also to be important for you to convert the mixed fraction into improper fraction. So actually, you need to understand those particular concepts. Having noted that, then we can go to operations of fractions. Operations of fractions. The operations of fraction. So let us talk about the operations of how do we operate fraction. So number one, we shall start with addition and subtraction. This is actually the starting point A. So we have got different scenarios here, and the easiest scenario is where the two fractions are having the same denominator. Like for example, if you are told you work, this is Roman 1, you work out 2 over 3 plus maybe 1 over 3. when the denominators are the same, you just take one of the denominators to be the denominator of the answer. You just take the denominator, one of them actually, because the LCM here of 3 and 3 is 3. So one of them becomes the denominator of the answer. Then we add the numerators, which will be 2 plus 1. So you will find this one is 3 over 3, which is actually 1. So let us look at another case where you have maybe 6 over 7 plus 6 over 7 plus 2 over 7. You will realize this one will be equal to 7 and 7 here. The LCM will be 7. And then you add the numerators, which will be 6 plus 2. You will find this one is 8 over 7, which you can write into a mixed number. Into mixed number, remember we said it is 8 divided by 7. It will go once because of 7, so that the remainder is 1. So you find this one is the same as 1 and 1 over 7. 1 and 1 over 7 becomes the answer. You can be given another scenario, maybe it is subtraction, where you are told it is 11 over 15 minus 4 over 15. You will realize that the LCM of 15 and 15 is actually 15. Then you minus the numerator. So it is going to be 11 minus 4, which will actually be equal to what? Which will actually be equal to 7 over 15, like that. So it is easier. When the numerators are the same, you just pick one of them to be the numerator of the answer. Then you just add or subtract the numerators. So we can have another case B where you have different denominators. Like for example, you have 3 over 4 plus maybe 1 over 3. You are told you add that. First of all, you need to get the LCM of 4 and 3. The LCM of 4 and 3 of 4 and 3, you can just use the long method, or the method that we know. You can have here 4 and 3, and then you know we can 3 can go here, so that we have 4 1, and then 4 can go here, so we have 1 1. So the LCM is equal to 3 times 4, which is actually 12. So you realize this one will be like this, because the LCM is 12. So 3 over 4 plus 1 over 3 will be equal to, you just write there the LCM is 12. 12 divided by 3, 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. So you realize this one is the same as 13 over 12, whereby in mixed form is going to be 1 and 1 over 12. So that is how we do it. That is how we do it. So having noted how we do it, even in subtraction, you apply the same approach, whereby you can have 8 over 13 plus maybe 5 over 7. So you need first of all to get the LCM of 13 and 7. Then you proceed that way. So that the LCM, this LCM will be equal to the numerator. It is going to be the numerator of the answer. Then we shall have the working for that particular numerator. So the LCM will be the denominator. Then we work for the numerator. Just a minute here. Just a minute. Let us get that, where we have 13 times 7, which comes to 91. So the LCM here will be equal to 91. the LCM being 91. So we shall have 91 here. 91 divided by 13. 91 divided by 13, we shall get 7. And then we shall have 7 times 8, which is actually 56. So this is how we are going to do it. So we are going to have 91 divided by 13, which is 7. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 91 divided by 7 is 13. Then we shall have 13 times 5. Then we shall have 13 times 5, which is actually 65. So we have 65 there. And then 65, then we add 56. So that we have it is 121. So this one is 121 over 91. And then you can convert it into mixed number. And then the answer becomes like that. Then we can talk about another way of operating, which is actually multiplication. The multiplication of a fraction. So if you have fractions like A over B, then you are multiplying with C over D, the answer should be equal to AC over BD. So in simple terms, you multiply the numerators, and then to get the numerator of the answer, then you also multiply the denominators to get the denominator of the answer. So if, for example, you have 1 over 4 times 2 over 3, the answer should be 1 times 2 over 4 times 3. You multiply the numerators to get the numerator of the answer, which would be 2 over. Then you multiply the denominators to get the denominator of the answer, which would be 12, which can be simplified to be 1 over 6. So basically that is how we do it. But you can be given a fraction. You can be given a fraction which is actually a mixed number. Like, for example, you are given 1 and 2 over 3 times 4 over 5. This one now, it must be converted into improper fraction, sorry. It must be converted into improper fraction, where we shall have 1 times 3 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So we shall have it as 5 over 3 times 4 over 5. You realize this one is the same as 20 over 15, which can be simplified. 5 can go here 4 times, 5 can go here 3 times, which is actually 4 over 3, which is the same as 1 and 1 over 3 as the answer. So anytime you are multiplying a mixed fraction, first of all, convert it into improper fraction so that you can be able to multiply and apply that particular concept. Lastly, let us talk about division. When you are dividing, when you have a fraction like maybe A over B divided by C over D, this is the same as A over B times D over C. We can change it to be, actually to be multiplication. We can change it to be multiplication by now having the reciprocal of the second fraction. So instead of having C over D here, it can be D over C, but we change this sign of division to be multiplication. So basically, if you have this, maybe it is 4 over 7 divided by 2 over 3. This one can be 4 over 7 times 3 over 2, which now can be equal to 4 times 3 over 7 times 2, which will be equal to 12 over 14, which is the same as 6 over 7. So you can be able to do that. That is what I wanted us to discuss for today. I wish you well, and thank you for coming to class.